Good evening, and thank you all for coming out on this warm Arizona evening. To this, the 45th Annual Arizona Peace Officers Memorial Service.
Honor Guard! And all uniformed personnel! And up! Color Guard! Can't read! Color!
This annual reminder represents our promise and commitment before you that we will never forget their sacrifice. We will never forget the families of our fallen, and we will strive to honor them in our life as we honor their memory.
I'm humbled to be here once again, surrounded by so many officers, first responders, families, friends, and former colleagues who have come to pay their respects to our brave officers who selflessly gave their lives in the line of duty.
The board is humbled and proud to once again host this ceremony that continues to honor those that we have lost.
On January the 9th, 1986, the front page of the Arizona Republic told the story of a tragic murder of a Phoenix PD officer, Robert Fike. He left behind a wife and 2 children. The citizens of Arizona were shocked and outraged by this senseless killing. I suggested building a memorial right here at Wesley Bolden Plaza as a memorial so these officers will never be forgotten. I didn't expect much to come from it. From the letter, it caught the attention of the Attorney General in the Attorney General's office, and they decided to take action. The model for the statue was Gordon Selby, a 31-year veteran retiring from both the Phoenix PD and the Department of Public Safety, following a storied career as a peace officer. Interestingly enough, the Arizona Peace Officer Memorial, as a work of art, has stood the test of time. And today, it is considered one of the best monuments in the whole country.
These are not just names. Each one is a part of us. A precious life given, a sacred life taken. Family and friends forever changed in that sacrificial moment.
And like many others, the approximately 900,000 peace officers throughout this country every day that are willing to put their lives on the line, they must never be forgotten. They say goodbye to their families, they say goodbye to their loved ones, never knowing whether they will be coming home or not. Their families stressing over what may or may not happen. And so I do want to thank everyone that works in law enforcement, and I also want to thank those members of the Arizona Peace Officers Memorial Board that make sure that the tireless work of law enforcement will never be forgotten.
These brave heroes had families, friends, hopes and dreams, just like the rest of us. But they were willing to lay it all down so that we might live in peace, comfort, and safety.
Almighty God, we are gathered in this set-apart place of honor to remember and celebrate the lives and memory of those special set-apart people called by you who have given the ultimate sacrifice in the service and the protection of others. They represent the highest virtue in life, to give one's life for someone else. They gave their life, making a difference by living with a purpose greater than themselves. We ask your comfort as we reflect on the precious gift each name on the memorial wall represents, and as we sadly add another name to this sacred place. Even in our grief, we are reminded that each selfless act is hope for the future and a challenge to generations to follow.
For an officer of the law, no shift, no call, no moment is routine, and there's no guarantee you'll make it home. Each day across our nation, we're seeing just how dangerous a life in law enforcement can be.
And as I go back and I reflect on what motivates an individual to get into law enforcement or serve as a first responder, I can't help but wonder what inspires us. What as a country do we have that makes people willing to sacrifice all for us? I actually believe it has little to do with them or their personal motivations, but instead my experience with law enforcement has been that those that are willing to put on the uniform want to serve us. They want the rest of us to feel safe. They want the rest of us to be able to sleep comfortably in our beds at night, and they want our society and community to thrive. And that's why we honor them by not only remembering them, but continuing to serve other people as well.
Arizona is grateful for the risks our officers take, and I want you to know that we will never take your sacrifices for granted. We are blessed to have such fine peace officers, chiefs, and sheriffs answering the call in times of trouble, and we can never say thank you enough for your service. This evening, we pay our respects to the fallen, and we also recommit ourselves to standing in solidarity with every man and woman serving in uniform. I want every family member who has lost a loved one to know that all of Arizona grieves with you and for your loss, and we are thankful for the sacrifices you have made.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Forward! March!
Head, high. Head, high.
It is you who has given us the police officer. It is you who ordained their calling, and they do not bear the sword in vain. Neither their efforts nor their sacrifice are in vain. They are light in the darkness, peace in the chaos, hope for the helpless, and proof that there is still so much good in the world. Now we ask your blessing, your presence, your protection, your comfort, and your peace upon each person here and all those we represent, especially the families, the friends, and fellow officers of those we mourn in their absence from us, honor in their sacrifice for us, and celebrate for their irreplaceable value to us.
Roll call of heroes. Officer Paul Lenzinski, El Mirage Police Department, end of watch, December 12th, 2017.
Officer Paul Lenzinski was a veteran of the U.S. Army and served with the El Mirage Police Department for 17 years. He was truly one of Arizona's and this country's finest, and we are forever grateful for his willingness to answer the call of duty in our defense.
But we come here tonight to remember a great man, a man that was willing to serve his country, a man that was dedicated to protecting the public safety as an El Mirage police officer, and a man who stood tall when very often folks would shrink in similar situations. He died just as he lived, serving and protecting. To Paul's wife, Tammy, there's no words I can say tonight to console you, but our hearts are heavy, and we will always remember him, and we will always be grateful, and as a state and as a country, to his service. To his family, once again, there's nothing I can say other than thank you for allowing him to serve our community.
This is memorialized call in memory of El Mirage Police Officer Paul Lenzinski, badge number 3227, and then watch December 12, 2017. The officer has secured Western Bowl Memorial Plaza and will be eternally honored. Rest in peace.
Rifle! Start fire 3 volleys! 1, 2, 1, 4, pass right, fight! Ready! Aim! Fire! Ready! Aim! Fire!
by today to see you. And I had to let you know. If I knew the last time that I held you was the last time, I'd have held you and never let go. Oh, it's kept me awake at night wondering. I lie in the dark just asking why. I've always been told you won't be called home until it's your time. I guess heaven was needing a hero, somebody just like you, brave enough to stand up for what you believe and follow it through. When I try to make it make sense in my mind, the only conclusion I come to is that heaven was needing a hero like you.
No matter how many years pass, this ceremony and its powerful symbols will remain one of the most meaningful traditions held at this Capitol. The procession, the invocation, the riderless horse, the singing of songs, the volley of rifles, the playing of taps, the flyover of a helicopter shining its searchlight down upon all of us. These tributes evoke the rawest emotions in each of us as we reflect on all that the fallen officers meant to us and all that they gave to us. May God comfort the families of our fallen officers, and may He place a hedge of protection around those who continue to serve. Thank you, and God bless.